Thank you very much, Paul, and welcome to all of you. Welcome, particularly hello Cambridge, to fellow citizens in our city, but also a big welcome to people from across our region. There are no barriers here. You are all welcome in Cambridge, I can tell you. And can I start, absolutely, can I start by commending people like Paul, Cambridge Stays, the people across this region who have been leading this battle over the last 15, 16 months. Now, on that dismal day last June, some of you remember it poured with rain. It was a miserable day. And a week later, when many of us gathered in this great square, it poured with rain. But there were loads of you here. And since then, we've had more rallies, and sometimes there have been fewer, and sometimes it's been more. And what I'm so pleased to see today is the numbers are big and swelling, because the situation is changing, friends. We're beginning to win this argument. It's changing, and we can do it. So, and you know what our mistake was, in my view, back in June last year? There wasn't enough passion for our cause. The Brexiteers have been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years. They've been knocking it. Does anyone think, for one moment, that if the referendum had gone the other way, Nigel Farage would say, fair dues, I'm giving up? Of course they wouldn't. And now they accuse us of wanting to refight it. Damn right we want to refight it. Damn right we want to do it. Because there is a passion. It was too technocratic. It should have been much more emotional. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to make the case for Europe, not just the case for why it's bad to be leaving, bad though it is. Now, we've heard from Paul already. The opinion polls are shifting. There was a worry, I have to say, over the last year that it began to feel like it was going the wrong way. Now it's beginning to change, and there are reasons for that. But before that, we should be outraged about the way people are being treated. 3 million non-UK EU nationals in this country, 1 million of our citizens in other European countries. Now, a few weeks ago, I led a debate in Parliament on this, and what is amazing is how much we are all learning about just how impossible this is, the complex situations of people working and living in other countries, encouraged to do so by all our governments for 40 years. Imagine 4 million people, all the people of Norfolk, of Suffolk, of Cambridgeshire and more, if they were being told, next year your future is uncertain, you might have to leave. It would be total outrage. And that's what we should be, outraged about the fact that a year ago we were being told this was going to be resolved soon. A year on, it's still not resolved. And sadly, I'm not sure it's going to be resolved very quickly. And what's happening? We're already seeing it. We're hearing pubs in Cambridge can no longer serve lunches, maybe closing, because people are leaving. They can't get the cooks, the cleaners are going. Nigel Farage, well done, have your pint, but the pub's shut. And then this week, we're back to no deal territory. It's absolutely unbelievable from this Prime Minister. I sat through her statement on Monday. It was like an Alice in Wonderland world. One minute she says, we're leaving the European single market and customs union. The next she says things are staying the same. Well, excuse me, I just don't see how those two things can be true. She's saying it one sentence after another. Completely unbelievable. When she's asked on the LBC interview how she'd vote, she doesn't know. I mean, she is in an impossible position. I have no sympathy for her, but this is not doable. And that's why she's in such a mess. And incredibly, even more to me, and what really, really incenses me, is they're now talking about spending money on building customs posts. For God's sake, only a mile from here, they're shutting our children's centres. They're shutting our children's centres, but they're talking about building customs posts. That should have been the choice, friends. Children's centre or customs posts. I know which one the British people would choose. And we've got to ram that message back to people and counter the lies that have been coming out over the last few months. And we need more passion. And that passion is building. For those of you who watched Prime Minister's Questions on Wednesday, you'd have seen Heidi Alexander stand up and really give it to the Prime Minister, because there are so many of us who are burning with fury now about what's happening to our country. I don't want to make this party political much, but you know, if the Tory party wants to tear itself apart, then fine by me. Absolutely fine. Go and do it somewhere else, but don't take our country down with you. This is much more important. This is much more important than the future of the Conservative Party. There are many reasons to get rid of them, but this is the best one of all. Now, finally, Brexit. It's a kind of cosy sounding term, isn't it? Sounds like form an orderly queue. I tell you, it's not Brexit, it's Rexit. Talk about Rexit, not Brexit, because the British people don't understand how dangerous and damaging this is going to be. No deal next March is not just kind of some hypothetical thing. It is a disaster for this country, and we are sleepwalking towards it. So what I say is, we're winning this argument. It's becoming clearer and clearer. We can win this, and this great crowd today is testimony to that. You'll have many more speakers this afternoon talking in more detail about a whole range of issues. I could talk for a long time on this, but I hope we want to hear everybody else. So stick with it. It's a fantastic campaign, and you know what? We are going to build a better Europe for all our citizens. Thank you very much. Thank you, Zeichner.